Good morning, guys. Welcome to JSA TV and JSA Podcasts, the newsroom for telecom and data center professionals. I'm Jamie Scotto Kataya, live on the floor of ITW 2022, an exciting year, ITW's 15th year anniversary, very notable. And breaking news here on the floor. Joining me today, Phil Olivero, of course, the Chief Technology Officer of Lightpath. Phil, welcome back to JSA TV.
Thank you, Jamie. Thanks for having us.
Always a pleasure. And I can't believe it's just been a year, 15 months from the company launching, but a year for you as a Lightpath leader. And so you guys have really launched not just a telecom company, but something really different, something really unique. Can you let our viewers know?
Sure. It's probably worth maybe doing a little bit of a history recap. So back in December 2020, Altice, who's a residential cable provider in Europe and throughout the United States, they had this entity, Lightpath, that was a fiber to the enterprise offshoot of Altice. But they really felt like it could do much more, and they saw lots of potential there. So in December 2020, they brought in Morgan Stanley and Infrastructure Partners as a partner and as an investor to really grow on that foundation that really had been built over 30 years. Lightpath had been built over 30 years, so great foundation. But back in December 2020, again, not that long ago, the mandate really was to grow the business. So they brought in a new management team, of which I was a part of. And we really set about to, as you said, maybe do things a little differently. And so that involved really investing in people, processes and systems, and network. And so over 15 months, we've done a lot, which I'm sure we're going to get into a little bit more here.
I mean, the news just keeps coming from you guys. We love it. The Lightpath network footprint, of course, aggressively expanding. And I mean, highlight that, guys. I'm not kidding here. Yeah. Walk us through some of your larger expansion news.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so as we said, over the 15, 16 months that we've been at this now, we looked at the network and we said, look, folks are really happy with what we're starting to do here. And I guess I was remiss in saying, when we talked about people, network, or people, system, process, and network, on the people side, like we've doubled our customer facing folks, like our sales folks, our customer service folks, and really wanted to enhance the customer experience. And so as we've started to do that, we've seen some real good positive feedback from customers. We've done our network promoter survey scoring and really seen some fantastic results there relative to what we've done even in the past, and maybe even what we've seen over the time that we've been here. And so as we're doing these investments in people and process and enabling them to get customers the services they want, the thing we keep hearing from customers is, hey, we're really liking this. Can you do this in more places for us? And so we looked at it was interesting. We looked at where we are. So we're predominantly New York Metro, or were New York Metro area focused, and also predominantly kind of followed along where Altice and Cablevision before them had built. And yet there were adjacent pockets of network and opportunity that were right next to us, but we did not really penetrate because the cable provider, again, Cablevision or Altice, really didn't have a franchise there. And we said, Queens is right in our backyard. It was a great opportunity for us to start building in there. So from an adjacent perspective, we saw Queens, we saw Princeton, and went right away to putting network there. But we said, there's adjacent opportunities, but our customers are still telling us, hey, we want you to go to more places. And so, we had a lot of relationships, a lot of good customer feedback and so on that brought us to Boston. So, again, we've only been at this for 15 months, but, roughly in April, we said, okay, let's go ahead and invest in Boston. By June, we'd identified the first smaller acquisitions to get us some fiber and conduit in Boston. We've announced 3 other expansions since then. So we've set to really invest deeply in Boston. So that's been another big expansion project for us. And, you've probably also heard we're lighting a new route down to Ashburn because a lot of our customers say, hey, we want to get down to the data centers and not too far from this area. A very good spot, right? So we've done that as well. So yeah, just a lot of investment to make sure that, again, the customer experience is great, but then that is now turning into, hey, we want you to go to more places and, love for you to service in more.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, let's talk numbers here. Yeah. You recently announced a milestone of 2,000 2,000 wireless site deployments across your network footprint. 2,000, like that's a lot.
Well, especially considering again that 15 months ago, 16 months ago, we were just in the New York metro area. But if you're rolling out well, as many of the wireless carriers are, 5G, and need bandwidth and also need density, you need to be able to provide a lot of bandwidth in a lot of places. And we have over 18,000 miles of fiber just in the New York metro area. We have 20,000 miles of fiber, out miles of fiber now across New York metro area and Boston. So we have a very, very dense network, and that's really, really important for our wireless carrier customers and so on. And it also helps us, sell to enterprises and more to wholesale. That was another area that we hadn't really leveraged in our past. That has been a great opportunity to leverage. And so, again, our wireless customers now are saying, "Wow, didn't realize maybe that you had all these sites." So some of the the growing customers, wireless carrier customers out there, are really looking at us and saying, "Hey, we want to grow with you." So it's been fantastic.
And it's such a great wholesale story. Here we are, floor of ITW. Right. What's your wholesale message?
Well, that hey, we're open for business, and so and growing exactly. So, and also, if there are other markets that you want us to bring our services to, we want to hear about them. We've had a bunch of meetings over the last 3 days, and that's exactly what we've heard is that hey, bring us to more places. But I think dealing with carriers, sometimes there's this view of hey, are we enabling competitors and so on. We know that there's a co-opetition environment here. We've got to sometimes our sales folks and our relationships maybe can't get to some of the multinational or international companies out there. So other carriers that are at this show here today say, hey, but we have a great relationship with a company that has many locations in New York. Great. Come talk to us. We'd love to help you.
And along that eastern corridor, there's a lot of subsea cables.
Absolutely.
Yep, I can see this. All right. So what's ahead for Lightpath in the coming year or so?
Yeah, so more expansion, really, right? Maybe not surprising. I know, yeah, not surprising, right? So, like we planted the new market, Boston, in 2021, and so great growth there. And we're looking to plant 2 more markets, really, by the end of this year. And so we just had a recent board meeting, and again, after really 5 quarters now, we've seen some fantastic growth and results. So our board is extremely excited about, as we are as a management team and a company, to really plant 2 more markets like we did in Boston. And so, we're going through our research and so on, but also talking with customers about where the best places are to expand the networks and deliver, again, more of these services to more people in more places.
And we got to say, we love your management team. You guys have, you're hiring the best of the best. We're watching you guys. Where can our viewers go to learn more information?
Well, so the website is lightpathfiber.com. Our LinkedIn site is extremely active as well. We put all our announcements out there too. So, so by all means, reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Phil. It's such a pleasure. Guys, lightpathfiber.com. Definitely check them out, and on LinkedIn. Thank you for tuning in to JSA TV and JSA Podcasts. As always, think green and happy networking.